We are looking at Meg's butterfly below the water. Commentary by Coach Chris. And again, we're going to let this run one time full speed so we can kind of see what's going on with her timing. And now that we're looking at underwater, we can really see that chop at the front of the stroke. Really early on the breakout. So let's talk about probably some of the really good stuff that we're seeing. We're going to slow this down to half speed. The first thing that I'm seeing that is really good is we've been doing a lot of drills working on the timing of this butterfly kick. We want to have one kick kind of as your hands are entering the water, which you can see the bubbles right here from her kick, and you want another kick as her hands are pushing back or exiting the water. So we'll watch it at half speed. So kick right at the exit, kick at the entry, right at the exit, right at the entry, right at the exit. Her kick timing is very good. And a lot of the kids in the group struggle with this, and it's something that we continue to do drills on. But Meg is doing her kick very, very well, and the timing of it is the key. You lose power if you don't have a good second kick. We'll watch her come up off this wall and see a very, very, very strong second kick. There's a first. Boom. Look at the size of that kick. She's getting a really deep knee bend. Really, really, really solid second kick. And I can't stress enough how important that is. We go over it with a lot of the weaker butterflies all the time. You need to have a strong second kick. So Meg's kick timing has gotten very, very good. And the size of her kicking is very good as well. But let's talk about the main thing that I'm seeing with the stroke. We'll watch her swim. We'll slow it down even more. Now, Meg's butterfly and her breaststroke, she tends to do the same thing. You know, this is part of that chop-in stroke, but she's trying to swim a little bit too much up and under the water. So you can watch her swim here. She'll drive the hands down and see how she kind of turns them up. Okay, that's like putting on the brakes. And basically, she's trying to lead the stroke with her hands, and she's basically trying to follow this sine wave through the water. So for her butterfly and her breaststroke, she's trying to come up and come down and then come up again. And it's really kind of and this is pretty common for kids her age, it's really a little kid's version of this stroke. See how her hands go down? She's going to try and dive down. You can see her really scooping. And she's got a nice high body position. She's got a really good kick, which is helping it out. But chopping those arms down and driving the upper body low like that is not quite what we're looking to do. So we'll move back. All right. What you want to do with that butterfly is she wants to come just like she's doing. She wants to come up and out and kind of over. Up and out and over. Up and out and over. So it's not really a sine wave. It's not like she's trying to go over the water and then dive back down. Think of it more like she's a skipping stone. That's more how she wants to do butterfly. Everything's forward, a lot less down under the water. She's kind of skipping along right at the surface. And that's kind of how we got to think about it. Kick looks great. That's just a really good shot of her kick. Look at that full extension. Really, really good. But that up and down motion, it's because she's still used to leading with her hands a little too much on the stroke. As she gets stronger and she can keep those hands up and out and kind of try to get the arms to be the last thing to enter, she'll flatten out a little bit with that butterfly. But part of it is thinking less about diving underwater and more about going forward. So let's go ahead and focus on the turn here. Turn mechanic's not bad. She stays nice and low, getting into that streamline. Up to this point, really good. Tight streamline and glide. Boom, boom, boom. But this is where she's impatient. We do a lot of underwaters. and I see this a lot with Meg. She's just getting a little impatient with this breakout. See, she takes a couple kicks, lifts the head, drops the streamline, and she's trying again. She likes to scoop these hands up to try and direct herself. The problem with that is now she's basically created a break. And so she's got her hands straight up, so she's catching all this water, and it's just dragging her. So she's basically stopping herself from moving forward, and the head is up, so she's broken out of streamline. And we can see, I mean, she's moving through about 1.5 foot of water to get to the surface. So she needs to hold on to that streamline, and we keep working on it. But patience with the streamline is definitely one of the biggest areas she can improve. Just holding it together and kicking all the way to the surface. And now she gets going. She looks really, really good. See, if you look at the non-breath strokes, a lot less chop. Let's go back. See how her arms are entering flat? You don't see that scoop with the wrist. When she's not breathing, she's skipping like a stone, just like we talked about. Just coming up, forward, hitting the water, up, forward, hitting the water. She's staying very, very shallow, not diving down and pressing. Very, very good. That's her best stroke right there when she's not breathing. Now let's watch the breath. And you can see how much deeper the arms get. Shallow, skipping like a stone. Kind of chopping down. Hands are getting about 6 to 8 inches deeper. So that's kind of the biggest thing. Her non-breathing strokes, which is typical of this age, are spot on what we want to see from her butterfly. Her breathing strokes are the ones where we're getting tripped up. And that's perfectly how it's supposed to work. So we keep working on drills to time the kick, which she has great timing in the kick. We keep working on drills to time the breathing, and we keep working on drills to kind of follow the right path with the arms. For her, it's trying to get her fly and imagine her fly as a skipping stone as opposed to a dolphin diving up and down in the water. She wants to skip across the surface. So really solid stuff. I'm really encouraged by the progress she's made on her kick. Really encouraged on the progress she's made with the timing of her breathing. Even though it breaks down, it's still pretty good, and we're working those drills. So we've got plenty of time to keep improving that. The arm entry thing's kind of, I think, just physical size. She'll grow into that. She'll have more power as she gets bigger and stronger. She'll have more ability to hold those arms up. It's kind of a difficult position at this age to really be in control of the arms at the front end of the stroke like that. So nothing worrying me right now. Really biggest area to improve is patience on those kickouts. Patience in the streamlines, not rushing to take that first stroke, trying to make sure that we're not breaking out early while we're still deep in the underwater. So a lot of good stuff, Meg. Look forward to seeing you tonight at practice.